Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you guys how to divide rational expressions. That is our next part of our standard 14. But before we divide rational expressions like what I have here, let's just remind ourselves. So take a look at the top here. What do we do when I divide fractions? So for example, if I have 1/2 divided by 4/3. When I'm dividing fractions, I want to remember that I'm going to rewrite it as a multiplication problem and do the reciprocal or flip the divisor. And then once I rewrite it like so, I multiply straight across. So 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 4 is 8, and I have 3/8. So we're going to use something similar to this when we're dividing rational expressions. So let's take a look at our example now. Divide the expressions and identify any restrictions on the variable. From last time, we saw that when we divide, we cannot divide by 0. So I want to think about, when I'm looking at this problem, what are we dividing by? This is called the divisor. So when I look at this and I read it to myself, I think x squared plus 5x plus 6 over x squared minus 4 divided by 5x plus 15 over 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. So what are we dividing by? So first of all, I can see this. This is what I'm dividing by. This is the divisor. That's what we're dividing by. So let's write that down here. But there's actually something else I'm dividing by too, because fractions mean division. The number on the bottom of a fraction is also dividing. So if I look at this first value, the dividend, and I look at the bottom, that is also something I'm dividing by as well. So I'm going to write that down here as well. X squared minus 4. So that means none of these things can be equal to 0 because we cannot divide by 0. So I want to keep track of what these values are and what they become as I continue to do this problem. Okay, let's get started. Step 1, write as multiplication. Just like the little mini example we did on the top, when I am dividing fractions, I want to rewrite as multiplication. So the first part stays the same, but the second part, the divisor, that one we're going to flip. So I'm going to put 3x squared minus 4x minus 4 up top, and then 5x plus 15 on the bottom. All right, moving on to step 2. Factor the top and bottom. We also call the top the numerator and the bottom the numerator. And when I'm factoring, I always want to think about GCF. What's the greatest common factor first, if I can, because it's going to make factoring a lot easier. So up here, x squared plus 5x plus 6, that is going to factor into x plus 3 times x plus 2. For the bottom of this one, x squared minus 4, this is a difference of squares. So it's going to be x minus 2 times x plus 2. Over here, 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. If I factor that, I'm going to have 3x and x for the first values of those binomials. And then for negative 4, one of these, so it's 2 and 2, one of them needs to be negative. So this one needs to be negative, and this has to be positive. And for 5x plus 15, I think there's a GCF we could take out here. For 5x and 15, we can take out 5. So we have left x plus 3 inside. Okay, so we're done with step 2. Let's look at step 3. Step 3, identify the restrictions on the variable. Set the denominator and divisor equal to 0. Then isolate the variable. Think back to what we were dividing by. So what were we dividing by? Because the things that we were dividing by cannot be equal to 0. So I want to go back to what we circled here. What are all the things we were dividing by, and what did they turn into? So the things that we're dividing by, as I follow through the work I'm dividing by this and this, what I'm now highlighting in yellow. And as I factored, it became this value, and this value. So none of these things can be equal to 0. So I'm going to kind of use the zero product property and set each of those factors equal to 0. Or not equal to 0, because they can't equal 0. So x minus 2 can't equal 0. So if I solve that equation, I'm going to get 2. If I look at this one, x plus 2, that's a factor that also cannot equal 0. If I solve this, I'm going to get negative 2. For this factor, 3x plus 2 also cannot equal 0. So if I solve this equation, I'm going to get x cannot equal negative 2/3. We already did this one first. We also have x plus 3. So x plus 3 also cannot equal 0. And if I solve this, I'm going to get x cannot equal 3. All right, so those are all the factors that we were dividing by, and we've set them all equal to 0, so we know what x can't be equal. So now let's take a look at step 4. Divide or cancel out common factors. Identify restricted values using the original rational expression. So we've already sort of done the restricted values here, these guys. But now let's look at the factored form that we had up here. If there's something that's the same on the top and the bottom, it's going to cancel out and reduce to 1. So I'm going to look. Where do I see something that's the same on the top and the bottom? X plus 3 and x plus 3. X plus 2 and x plus 2. X minus 2 and x minus 2. And if there's nothing else that's going to cancel out that's the same on the top and the bottom, then what I'm left with is going to be my answer. So on the top, what I see that I have left here is 3x plus 2. And on the bottom, all I have left is 5. So I'm going to rewrite my answer as 3x plus 2 over 5. And then I also want to keep track of, well, what are all the things that I saw earlier that are restricted, the things that can't equal, that x can't equal because we can't be dividing by 0. So that's where we're going to look back at all of the work that we did here. So x cannot equal 2, negative 2, negative 2 over 3, and negative 3. So you always need to go back and go through and find those restricted values. So I think I worked a bit ahead. Step 5, write the simplified expression, including the restricted values. And here we are.